Hello, this is Dr. Bartosh of Proactive Wellness and Injury Center, and today I'd like to talk about the subject of weight loss, or weight gain, I should say. And you know, over the years we have had many people that have gone through our weight loss programs, and all have been very successful. And I believe that one of the reasons why we've had the success that we've enjoyed, or they have enjoyed, is because we look for the cause. You know, gaining weight is much more than just an overindulgence of calories combined with a sedentary lifestyle. As a matter of fact, sometimes weight gain is an entity in and of itself, but many times it's actually a symptom, believe it or not, of an underlying or ongoing problem that a person may not even realize he or she has. So today, for those of you who may be a bit dubious about getting on a weight loss program, or thinking that you know, the extra few pounds that you've gained really isn't bad because you're having no apparent other conditions, you might want to rethink that decision, because I've rarely, if ever, seen anybody who's come in who has wanted to lose weight ever had just an additional weight gain as their problem. What I'm saying to you is that many of these individuals have a situation where they may have high blood pressure, they may be pre-diabetic or even diabetic, they may have an underlying developing heart issue, a thyroid problem, and even a few of the individuals were in a state of developing some type of cancer. So I'm saying to you once again that an addition of a few pounds that you may think is just a few pounds is rarely something that occurs by itself. So for those of you at home that would like to see where you are, today I'd like to talk to you about body mass index, the BMI. You may have heard about it. It's one of the more efficient or effective tests that you can do in your home. Now, this is the formula that you want to write down and use. You take your weight in pounds, and you write that down, you multiply it by 703, then you divide it by your height in inches. So for clarifications, we'll say that you're a 120-pound individual. 120 pounds times 703 equals 84,360. Then you divide that by your height. And in this example, the person is 5'5", so we convert that to inches. That's 65 inches. That number is divided by 65 inches, and here's the answer: 1,297.846153. So we're going to go ahead and round this off. It's 1298, and we're going to move the decimal point over two places, so their BMI, their body mass index, is 12.97. Now we look at the index here, and if a person has a body mass index that's 18.5 or less, they are at an increased risk of developing some type of disease. Now you might think, wow, that's great. You know, or what about bodybuilders? Because we have a few of them that we've trained that get down to about 6 or 7% body fat. Remember, this is not body fat, this is body mass index. Totally different here. So don't confuse the two. And we've seen athletes, even though they have very little fat, they run a high risk of having osteoporosis, brittle bone disease. They can't even become diabetic, and for the females, their body will malfunction because they have no fat with which the body can use to produce hormones, and they can run into what's called the female triad. It's another disorder or disease that is a result of having a low BMI. But that's a subject for another time. The ideal one is between 18.5 to 24.9%. That's a healthy weight to carry around. Very aesthetic. And you know, this is not empirical where you have to be into those ranges, but if you're a little bit above it, especially if you're a female, not to worry. However, when we get to 25 or 29.9 or above, you are now in the range of being overweight, and you are at an increased risk of developing some type of other disease. It could be pre-diabetes, it could be developing into diabetes, It could be what's known as metabolic syndrome, having high blood pressure, having some kind of coronary issues, some heart issues, and or high cholesterol, high fat lipids. And we look at this one where the individual is 30 or above. That individual is deemed obese and they are at a very high risk. That means that their potential is really great at developing or already having developed some of these other disorders that I mentioned. And of course, if the person is 36 and above, that is morbidly obese. That is where an individual is headed toward the grave, frankly, and they need some crisis intervention. They need to do something very, very quickly. So again, I've given this to you for those of you who are thinking about getting into a diet or a weight loss program. You can use this measure, this formula, in order to determine where it is that you are currently. And remember, when all is said and done, if you want to maintain your health, the best thing to do is to remain proactive.